Hey there everybody, thanks for joining me for another one-man review. Today I'll be continuing on with my reading of Dragon Ball Z. I'm up to Volume 5. Volume 4 I was starting to lose interest because the fight scenes and the posturing and the hubris and everything that I associate with Dragon Ball Z kind of kicked into full gear, but also like the first storyline wrapped up. So I was very curious headed into Volume 5 to see if, like as that build up and come down hits the come down, if I actually get more interest in the story again, because you have a new plot line and all of that kind of stuff. Also, by the way, while I'm talking, I just realized that this cover, it just looks like Gohan's just laying on the floor there, even though they're meant to be flying. But anyways, yeah, happily, well, I shouldn't say surprised, but happy to see that my hopes for this volume were correct in that as we're coming down off the big first major conflict, that the story opens up even more. This is when I enjoy the book more, is when you get the more the characters interacting and less of just the fighting and shouting. So one of the first major plot points that's going to obviously keep the story moving in the future is that for some reason, just foolish pride really, Goku lets Vegeta go. He instructs his friends to let Vegeta go because he wants to be able to fight him when he's even stronger. So it's this kind of foolish, prideful idea of being the strongest at all expenses. I've also kind of on the side been reading Vagabond, not something I'm making videos on, but that same like trying to be the toughest, the one guy who can win every fight and not die. Just seems like kind of a silly thing to me, but I do like the aspirational aspects of it. So they have Vegeta going to get stronger. There's now a new mission, which is to get to planet Namek. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, because there's the species there that Piccolo was one of. And those people can produce more Dragon Balls, even though there's not any more on Earth now. So that's kind of the new mission, is to meet on planet Namek, and the Namekians, I'm going to say Namekians, and get some more Dragon Balls. While we're back down to all of this more down-to-earth interpersonal stuff, Toriyama's cartooning kicks in again, and I see, like where his strength as an artist are. So here we have this weird Mr. Popo character showing up, who's kind of like a strange genie character that's like very rubbery, cartoony. You see here some of the Kobayashi influence, I think. I don't know which way the influence goes, but this reminds me quite a bit of the faces that you get in like What's Michael or Club 9. I think this is the type of Toriyama I really enjoy, and from what Sean and Brandon have told me about it, that seems to be the majority of his career is more in this like cartoony style. So again, reading Dragon Ball Z is just making me more excited to read the rest of the non-Dragon Ball Z stuff that Toriyama did. There is this spaceship that they have to get off of Earth, and so they're going and looking for spaceships, and they find this old Kami-sama's house. That's something that, because I haven't read Dragon Ball, isn't that big of a deal for me. I don't really know Kami-sama as a character very well, or who he was, or what his house was, or why this is a cool thing to find. But they've got a spaceship that they're gonna go in. There's some here, Gohan getting his new little bowl cut and having his like little school clothes on is a super cute moment that really made me laugh. I also like this guy with the beard and the Viking hat on. That kind of cartooning is really where I'm enjoying these books, and why the fight scenes really just start for me. Like, I think this is the good stuff here. I can also see Akira Toriyama getting some like ooh la la in the situation in a kind of funny way, where I could see like the little 11 or 12-year-old boys reading this thinking this is exciting, where you have this character, I think her name's Bulma. I forget if it's Bulma or Chi-Chi, who's Gohan's mom. I don't know. Anyways, this lady's walking around in her underwear. So I can imagine like 10-year-old Jack watching that, reading that, and finding it to be pretty saucy. So good for you, Toriyama. Then we get to planet Frieza, and we get some more actual like environment design, something other than just like empty hills and barren rock landscapes. And I always like when we get that stuff. I don't know if Toriyama has a background artist or if this is his stuff, but I always like the cities in these. I wish there was more of these kind of environments. But Vegeta is going to Frieza. I didn't quite understand all why, but he's trying to get to Namek to get the Dragon Balls as well. So he's gone and put together like a crew of people and gotten healthier, and now he's headed towards Namek to get his Dragon Balls as well. On Frieza, there's a Lord Frieza, as well as these characters, Dodoria and Zarbon, I think is this character's name. You can see these characters have some Dragon Balls. Again, having not read Dragon Ball itself, like, to me, these are just kind of these magic, like, Deus Ex Machina things. I don't really get the total import of them. And there's also this character here, Kiwi, who is trying to chase down the rebellious Vegeta. So these are all Saiyans, I believe, and all really super powered people. You can see they kind of have the Saiyan armors on there. So these are some new villains entering the picture, which is pretty cool. That makes it exciting to have new people. There's also just like some characters here that I don't think they're Saiyans, even though they're wearing that kind of armor. But seeing some new bad guys in the picture is kind of fun. Seeing how easily these two characters, I think this guy's name is Kuririn and Gohan, dispose of them is also like a good, funny little action sequence here where they power up, and then just like this shot right here where they really kick these guys' butts is pretty funny to me. Again, Toriyama in the action scenes, to me, it kind of just looks like he's got little muscle man figures that don't even really move, and mostly drawing those. So these scenes aren't as exciting to me, but this particular one here cracked me up pretty good, where these kids just go in on these guys. And then we end the book basically with Goku also recovering from his battle with Vegeta, and he is also racing to Namek, and I believe this is supposed to be in a refurbished version of the ship that he got sent to Earth in, I guess, but again, that's something I don't have information on because I haven't read Dragon Ball. So this one, much more enjoyable. I think there's a lot more imagery like this, where I'm seeing more of the environment in the world. There's more of the cartooning type of stuff, which Toriyama is really great at, and there's much less of like the muscle figure stuff, which I don't think he's very good at. So really kind of enjoying this. And this also gives me hope that throughout the series, there's kind of be these ups and downs where it goes to the parts I like, and then it kind of, okay, we're going to have a big battle, and boom, 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 boom. And then if I keep pushing through that, then I'll get to more of the character-driven stuff, which I like, which is appropriate for an action series. You got to go off and have the big action sequence. It's just the decompressed thing that I usually like in manga when it's applied to those very long, like 2-volume long fight sequences with a lot of posturing. I get a little bored. But really enjoyed Volume 5, so back on track, enjoying Dragon Ball Z, and I'll see you next time for Volume 6.
Back to